Welcome to Upturn, the podcast where we go beyond discussing success and delve into stories that are rarely talked about.
We share honest stories about failing, hitting low points, and most importantly, a turning point when someone decides, this is it, no more BS. I'm getting my life back on track now.
So get inspired by authentic voices who choose to climb back up when life knocked them down. This is your place for honest conversations, recognition, and powerful upturns. Let's rise together.
Welcome to a new episode of the Upturn podcast. And today we're back with Jannie, the one who started it all the three books. And we have a really cool episode because next week the book will launch at a very special event. So we're here to talk about the state of the book, really. So Jannie, how is it? How's it going?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Stephanie, for having me back again and have this great opportunity to wrap it up just so short of the book launch. It has been an amazing journey, and it's a journey for 4 years now. But now, when we just speeding up and connecting together and just feeling the vibe of the book launch coming, it's giving me chills. It's awesome.
Yeah, I imagine that you've been working on this for 4 years, and now it's almost finally there. Of course, we're pre-recording this, so by the time you listen to it, it's a week before the book launch, and we're probably all getting a bundle of nerves. But
probably
now
more than now.
even more, yeah. So the book's off to the press right now.
Yes, fortunately, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It should go to the printer like 2-3 weeks before, at least, because of course the printer, the publisher needs some time also. But we're awaiting the books, and hopefully it will be a little bit sooner than at Book by Upturn 1. Oh my goodness! At Upturn 1, we had before it went to press, there were so many extra challenges that we need to tackle because of illness, because of miscommunication, because of everything what could go wrong went wrong. And then we literally had, when the book launch was there, we literally had my husband, Robert, waiting by the press, getting the books. They were still warm when they got into the boxes. Then he drove, and it was in Amsterdam, and then he drove to the book launch like from, they're here, so we could start. So this time we're a little bit earlier. That's better.
Yes, it's better for everyone's nerves.
Yeah, absolutely. But every Upturn book has also his own Upturn story. Oh my goodness. That's the beauty of it too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that makes every journey authentic as well, which is the theme.
Yeah.
And as we were just discussing before we hit record on this podcast, there's another theme that emerged throughout all the stories. And if you've listened to all the podcasts, you may have already guessed it, but maybe you want to tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I noticed with every Upturn book is like we start with a theme. So in book 1, it was mindset, and in book 2, it was personal development. And now book 3, authenticity. How do you show up authentically in every part of your life? But the beauty is that in every book, with next to the theme, there is one thread also appearing that is connecting all the authors. And that's something we didn't ask before. We didn't talk about it up front. But during the process, it's emerging, and it's like connecting everybody to each other, just making them, again, matching that theme. And for now, for Upturn 3, next to the authenticity, what we see in all the stories of the authors is one way or the other a part of coming home with yourself. And they all share it on their different way and on their personal journey. But somehow I was just, because I'm working with every author, of course, but now everything is coming together, and I'm reading all the stories from back to front because they need to get in the book, and where do I place them? And it just popped up like, wow, that theme of coming home to yourself. I think that's really beautiful and so important in becoming authentic. I think they are really connected with each other. It cannot be different because it's there with every story, but I think it's really important part of being authentic. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that um you have to come home to yourself first before you can be authentic. Because if you don't know who you are, and I've had a realization myself very recently, last week actually, where I realized that I was doing something from a completely wrong intention. And I'm saying wrong on purpose because it wasn't aligned. So the choices I made from that out, I was like, why does this not work? Why am I struggling? Doesn't it flow? Because I was doing it from an intention and a drive outside of myself. So I had to come back to, okay, but what do I want first? And then I can show up authentically like that. But if I kept on pursuing something outside of myself that didn't flow for me, then you cannot be authentic because it doesn't come from you.
Yeah, so true. And that's so good that you felt it and realized it, because how often do we feel like we get stuck, or it's like we're walking through water or mud, or like, oh, why is it so
Yeah.
hard? And 9 out of 10, when you take the time to stand still and really observe yourself and
Yeah.
feel, and as you said, feel your alignment, feel your connection, and most of the time that alignment is off.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is a really great part of how do you become authentic? How do you come home by yourself? By start listening to you.
Yeah.
Start listening to what are my thoughts, and what are my feelings? What are
Yeah.
my values? Is it learned by when we are raised and when we grow up? Are
Yeah.
those the things that we are learned to do? Or is it that you say, hey, everything I learned, I just check it with myself. Is it still something that's aligning with who I am now, who I want to become? And
Yeah.
so that's really good. And that you did that and you noticed that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's also very subtle, I noticed. So I was having a conversation with my husband, and we were talking about something completely not really related to me. And then I heard myself say, yeah, but as soon as someone says to me that I can't do it, I go out of my way to prove that I can. And then I realized that that was a foundation I built something on to prove that I could do it, not because I wanted to. And then
Yeah.
suddenly it doesn't align anymore. And it's the questions happen after. It just needed to be something so subtle in a different conversation that makes you go, oh, okay. So that's
Yeah.
happening here. And I believe you had similar experiences on this journey with the book as well.
Oh yeah, multiple. But that's the part. You know, when I started journey, I was kind of convinced, not really thinking about it, but kind of convinced, okay, you are authentic or not, right? It's of course it's so much way deeper, but
Yeah.
at the surface, that's the thing. And I was like, okay, I try to show up. No, I do show up the way I feel, the way I am. I
Yeah.
don't try to hide anymore. I'm not afraid, not maybe a little bit still, but not afraid to show my
I think
failures.
everyone is.
Yeah, at one point, yeah, of course, because we want to connect with each other, right? So
Yeah.
that's the biggest human fear, to be, yeah, left alone or something. But it was like showing up authentically was like, okay, I'm the way you see me now is the same way if you see me off camera, right? So
Yeah.
how do you show up when nobody's watching? And I really try to live with that. But then I noticed it shows up, like you said, in that moment in a conversation like this, and then you just realize, hey, but what's happening here? I'm not aligned. Why do I do what I do?
Yeah.
And those realizations, I think they're everywhere, every day, every week. And that was, I think, my biggest experience in those last 4 years in being busy with the theme authenticity. It's
Yeah.
everywhere. And it's okay that you are not fully authentic yet. Because every time, again, still now, because after 4 years, we still sometimes have a situation like, hey, that I really need to go back to myself and say,
Yeah.
I want to be authentic. What's happening here? And
Yeah.
at first, I was really scared of, okay, how can I be standing for the theme authenticity if I'm not authentic in this?
Oh,
But
yes.
then, yeah, Yeah, you recognize it, right?
I recognize it. Yeah, I recognize it on a different level. But I run a publication called Rooted, and I don't feel rooted. It's like, what am I doing? So yes,
Yeah,
and I think people like you and me, we're drawn to these topics because we know we want to go deeper.
yeah,
And it helps us to go deeper and to see the parts where we are not what we want to be. And
yeah,
I think that
exactly.
that really helps. And it's really confronting, and it's really hard. And there are moments where you get scared, and there are moments where you
Mm,
want to hide, and you
yep.
just want to go back to bed. You're like, no, not today. But
Yes. What did
like we
I
were
was
saying,
ever thinking?
yeah, why am I doing this? No, I just want to go get a day job and be done with it.
Yeah,
But when we were talking before we hit record, you said the authenticity is in keep showing up when no one's looking.
yeah, yeah, but that's so. And realizing that it is okay to be still learning.
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest mistake or pitfall I had before. When I show up, I was always thinking I need to know everything up front.
Mm,
I can
mm,
only show up if I can answer every question. I can only
yeah.
show up if I have managed this topic 1000%. But
Yeah.
that's not true. And um, by believing that, it was
Yeah.
making my life really hard
Yeah.
because I was shying away. I was doubting myself. And
Yeah.
now, by embracing the fact that it's okay, I don't have all the answers, and that it's also okay for you and for everybody around me to don't have that all that answers also.
Yeah.
That's giving a kind of breathing space.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, and at the same time, at first it was really scary. Like, okay, but should I take this step then? Yeah, of course, please. Don't hide away, right?
Yeah.
So it is okay to grow in the process, to discover what are your roots, to discover what is alignment, to discover what is authenticity. And it is okay that every time then you face something and
Yeah.
you get in your face like, hey, this is off with my beliefs, and then that's a beautiful moment to grow even deeper and to get
Yeah.
to those deeper layers that exactly you and I are exploring, and I hope with us a lot of people, because
Yes.
we want to go into the depth of human beings, right? And
Yeah.
grow and connect, and yeah, it's an amazing
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah, and I think you hit something there where you said I felt like I needed to have all the answers.
Mm,
If you look at authenticity and the image that people have of authenticity, it's almost an all-knowing thing that I can only be authentic if I'm there, if I've reached it, if I have all the
yeah,
answers. But I think standing there saying, I don't know, but I can get back to you if you give me
yeah,
time to figure it out. I think that's really powerful. And I try to I had this conversation with a friend where I told her that my husband was away for a week last year, and I had a 2-year-old toddler at the time, and I was struggling. It was really hard, and he was having
yeah,
tantrums, and I had surgery 4 months ago, so I was still not back to where I wanted to be, and I just sat there and cried with my toddler on the lap, and he just looked at me. He's like, "Are you sad?" And I was like, "Yes." Moms do cry sometimes. And my
yeah,
friend said, but that's so strong. I was like, yeah, but how else is he going to know that it's okay to show emotions, that they are
yeah,
there, and that it's not a weakness? I mean, I didn't feel strong at the time,
I
far from
know.
it.
And
But
scared, and oh my God, yeah, yeah,
yeah, but it is part of human life, and
yeah.
hiding behind the mask of authenticity, which you portray as I know everything, I'm untouchable, and I'm super strong. I think that's the least authentic you can be.
Yeah, I think that perfectionism and that again, you said mask. That is it. As soon as we feel like we are hiding behind something, even if it's called
Yeah.
authenticity, then you're off. And you really gave me chills now because it is so strong that at a moment with your children, at the moment you say, I don't know it anymore, and dare to acknowledge that, and
Yeah.
dare to show them that you're also human, you teach them that it's okay for them too to be human.
Yeah.
And to make the connection with the question that you said for, hey, how was it in those 4 years? I exactly experienced this in a business setting with my authors, because I thought authenticity was not having all the answers, but was like, hey, I'm real, right? But then I found that because it's not like Upturn needed 4 years because of all the work. Because all the
No.
other Upturn books were like, the first one is a 6 months, the other one was a 9 months. So it's possible in a shorter amount of time. But it
Yeah.
was really the process of growing that not only I needed, but all the authors per person needed it. And it was like, one moment I was off, and then I have a responsibility for my
Yeah.
authors to push this through, but I couldn't. And then I needed to face myself, like, I'm not
Yeah.
able to push this through the way I want to, the way I want to give them the quality and the things they deserve. And on the other hand, then acknowledge it to them. And that was a new level of authenticity for me, because it is
Yes.
easy when I have a coaching call and I'm in my strength, right? But now I was in my weakness. And then in my weakness, I had to acknowledge to my clients, to my authors, like, I'm sorry, I'm not able to push through anymore. I'm sorry, I don't have the answers anymore. And that was
Yeah.
really scary, because I was really afraid that they would be mad at me and disappointed in me and all that stuff. But by being honest and genuine and don't have a
Yeah.
bullshit story, but just saying it the way it is, they
Yeah.
acknowledge the fact I'm human. They are human. And that was such an eye opener for
Enough.
me. Like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, they understand, and they still resonate with me, and I'm not losing my position. It's only getting stronger because I
Yeah.
showed them it's okay to be vulnerable. Hey,
Yeah.
now I got the word right. Yeah, so and that was a new level of being honest and
Yeah.
being authentic.
Yeah.
And on the other way, that showed my authors, because it's crazy. In those 4 years, it was like when I was strong, somebody else was falling down, having that struggles in life, because life is
Yeah.
happening, right? And
Yeah.
not able to get up. And then when she was okay, the next one was, it was like, just, yeah,
Yeah.
almost like,
It's ebb and flow like that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
I
yeah,
think
sorry.
what you said as well, that showing the vulnerability, the weakness, the moments where it didn't go the way you wanted to.
Yeah,
I think that's also taking leadership, taking ownership. Whereas if you hide behind, no, I'm fine, I've got everything under control, and you really don't, it's
yeah,
again masking. Well,
yeah,
leadership
yeah,
is
yeah,
saying, I'm here to show up, even if
yeah,
there are moments where I cannot do it. I'm
yeah.
still showing up.
So true. Yeah, so true. And again, yes, again, realization right now, it is also a kind of masking when I hide. And that's exactly, and
Yeah.
sometimes I still do. I'm aware of that, because when I don't have the answers, or I miss the things I needed to do, I'm hiding. I used to hide. I'm now showing up much more. But I was hiding, like, okay, when I've got it fixed, I will show up. And then weeks and days and
Yeah.
days and weeks pass, and sometimes months, and I'm like, and it's getting worse and worse, right? So I'm getting
Yeah.
ashamed, and then don't dare to show up again.
Yeah.
And just by embracing the fact that, okay, I made a mistake and I'm honest about it, I show up anyway. That was such a growth step in
Yeah.
both authenticity and leadership. And that's the beauty, because for every year, sorry, detour, every year in January, I set for myself a theme for the year. And
Yeah.
for 2 years in a row now, my personal theme is growing into leadership. And I noticed that becoming authentic was a step before leadership.
Yeah.
So, yes, I am growing in that leadership, but I so fully realized that coming home to yourself first. Who am
Yeah.
I? Who do I want to be? And can I accept and look at every part of myself, the failures and the successes? Yeah, so I've learned to look at those failures and not afraid of showing them, because then people feel like, oh, you are human too, and it's closing the gap. But also showing the successes, and that's something I sometimes hide away from, because yeah, that's normal, and yeah, but no, also the successes, that's
Yeah.
also part of being authentic. That's also me and
Yeah.
you and everybody around us.
It's the full picture. It's both.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
two sides of the same coin. I know it's cheesy and a much said saying, but
but
it
so
is
true.
true. You cannot have one without the other.
No. And I like those cheesy sentences, because what I also noticed is like in the movie Shrek, Shrek is like talking to Donkey, and then he's talking about the onion.
Oh
It's
yes.
all layers. It's all layers with that onion, right? But I'm thinking so much about that part, because that's so true. Because
Yeah.
in every part, it's still getting a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper, and that's the beauty
Yeah.
of it. I believe that you are never done learning and growing and
No.
exploring, and yeah, just feeling the air in my lungs now by embracing that and say, okay, I've come from far and I still have a long way to go. But in this moment, I
Yeah.
show up who I am, with and without everything I got now.
Yeah.
And that's okay, that's enough. And that should be enough for you too, right?
Yeah.
That's if we show up that way in a total honesty, not being afraid that people are getting disappointed, or that they are saying that you should be not be there. No, you are there where you should have been at that moment, and that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you it's nice that you mentioned the layers, because I was just thinking about it as well. I think in the 4 years, you and the authors all have peeled back so many layers. And I think if you published a book when you said you wanted to publish it, when you started this 4 years ago, you would have gotten a completely different book. Because
Yeah.
if you
Oh
look
yeah.
at all the authors, what they've been through in that span of time,
Yeah. And
they are completely different people now.
yeah, 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 absolutely. And the beauty is, that's the crazy part. So a little bit inside information. I started 3 years ago with three upturned authors, not six. So we were with the three of them. And the other three appeared later in the project. So they didn't walk the same time span in those 4 years. But still, there's a reason I could not
Yeah.
publish it 4 years ago, because it was not complete. And the persons, the authors who are in there now, oh my goodness, the connection in their stories and their energy and what they have been through,
Yeah.
it's making it one whole. And that's also a part of the theme, right? With the authors, trust and surrender. Uh,
Yes.
just like coming home to yourself, also the part of trust your intuition, feel what's
Yeah.
needed, act upon it, and even if you don't know the way, just surrender to it and have faith that things will be fine for you. That's also a common thing in all the stories,
Yes.
and that's exactly what happened with Upturn 4 now also. I needed to surrender to it, that I was not able to deliver within the year.
Yeah.
And I've picked a date for a new book launch, and every time it felt off. Just as you said, like it was
Yeah.
just not resonating, and I was pushing through with my head like it needs to be done, and I just wasn't able. And when
Yeah.
we set the date, it felt so differently. I just got chills, and everybody was just right on with it, and I was like, yeah, now it is the time.
Yeah.
And that was the moment that all the six stories came together. And then from that on, we were flying, and I was like, energy is such an amazing thing. How
It
I
is.
could not have created this. I could not have created this by myself. It's amazing when you let go.
Yeah.
What can happen then? Beautiful stuff you and I cannot create on our own, really.
No, no, absolutely. And I think a lot of people will benefit from the stories. I mean, I've read them in their very early stages before
Yeah.
interviewing all the authors. So I'm really excited to read the actual end product, because I haven't.
Oh,
I could,
chills.
but I could, but I'm holding out to actually have the book in my hand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You should.
Um,
Oh,
which for everyone listening, next week, if you're listening this on the day the podcast come out on the 23rd of October, I'm saying this right, 23rd, yes,
yes. Yeah,
23rd.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There will be a book launch where we will be celebrating that Upturn 3 coming into life. Can you tell us a bit about the book launch, about how people can join, how they can see the book?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're really inviting people to come and listen to the stories, to feel how they can touch your life. And if you just walk away that evening with one golden nugget that can touch your life and can make a difference, that's such a beautiful gift already, right? You just need one step at a time. You don't need tens and twenties and third, so many people, so many things to do at the same time. Just one. Just
Yeah.
one that resonates with you and then alters your journey a little bit, right? So, yes, Thursday, 23rd of October, 2025. And then we got 6 authors. 2 of them are living in a foreign country. So we got 4 authors live on stage. And then we got Kathy from Japan and Sarah from Australia. And they will be on camera with us. So they have
cool.
a live connection. Yeah, we have a live stream going on. But to be there I think it's so important to make real life connections. You can network with each other. You can network with the authors. They are there. It's in the evening. So we have a beautiful theater in Zeist booked. So we're just making the stage really comfortable and nice, and to make it really an intimate book launch. But still, the people are the guests. We will receive them as our guests and really, want to connect with them and show them, hey, this is my story. Don't back down. Everybody has his own upturn in life, right?
Yeah.
And it's so important that people can feel like, hey, I've been through something similar like you, and I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what to do. And then see that other part of the upturn, see like, hey, this is what they did. And then just spark that little glow in you from, if they could do it, I can do it too. Again, a sleazy sentence, but it's so, if you deepen it out, if you pull back that layers, it's so important. And if you wish for yourself to make your life a little bit better than it is already, please come and join the book launch and enjoy those stories and see what you can get out of it for yourself.
And you forget to mention one very important thing. It's free.
Yes, of course. So true.
You don't have to pay to attend the book launch. You can grab your ticket from the link in the bio for free to have an inspiring evening, to hear all those beautiful stories from everyone. We will be there as well. More people that worked on the book on the back end will be there as well. So you can connect with us, with them. And I think it will be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it.
And come and find us, right? So if you are there as a guest, indeed it is free. But if you recognize us, come walk up to us, say hello. Don't be shy to ask a question. And also for the authors, they are there, they're signing the books, and it's really about being one with each other. I don't know. I try to express that feeling that we want to put in there, but
as a group, like a community. I think that's what you mean. I think we're in this together. We're doing this together, and just because someone else is in front of you, is further ahead in their journey, doesn't mean they're on a different journey or that you can never get there, because they started somewhere. And I think one of the most powerful things that I got out of the story is that every author went through their own pile of crap. And they were really, really in deep into it before they got where they are now. So if you feel like I can never get there, they started somewhere as well with tiny baby steps, and so can you. And I hope that an event like the book launch, all the stories, all the inspiring stories, will help you just to set one teeny tiny step in that direction that you want to go in.
And I really want to share a little thing now, what I just think about. One of the things that made a big difference for me was I always thought, hey, the one on stage are so much ahead, but no matter where they are in life, you are at a certain point in life too. And maybe they have grown on a personal journey or in a kind of development, whatever, that you're looking up to them. But don't forget, just remember that the other way around, you also have things that you are strong in and that those people are not developed in yet. So in the end, we're leveling with each other. So don't think from, oh, there are mighty people on stage. No, no, no. We all have that value in us, and we just need to find it, polish it up, recognize it, and show it to the world.
Beautiful. Do you have any final remarks before we give people one final invitation to join the book launch?
No, I think it's the energy that you need to feel yourself. We can talk for hours, but listening is one part, but taking action is the next part, and showing up is always making change in your life for the better. And this is a beautiful invitation. Show up live with us, because that's what we do. We show up live for you too.
Yes.
Yeah, we are there on stage. We could have done it on Zoom or whatever, but we want to be there live because that's other way of connection. And the only part that we say for our guests, show up with us and have a celebration with us. Cheer us on stage, but from stage, we are cheering you on also in your life. Looking forward to see everybody.
Yeah, me too. I look forward to see you. So be sure to grab your free ticket for the book launch on the 23rd of October, 2025. We're starting at, I believe, 7:30. And we're really looking forward to see you. So
and the link is in the show notes, so there you can find the information. Although it's free, do book your tickets. So we have a limited seats, and we have a list, and so want to know the guests who are coming. So do book your ticket. Cool.
I hope to see you next week.
Yes, thank you so much, Steph, for everything.
You too. Thank you. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Upturn podcast.
Did we make you hungry for your own upturn in life? Check out the website in the show notes for your next step to create your own purpose-driven life.